United States. So it's not like totality. You don't have to run out there at the exact moment. Some places will have a partial eclipse that lasts for almost 2.5 hours. Others, maybe just an hour. So this is the situation right now. Montana, your eclipse is over. The shadow is passing out of North Dakota, but Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, you're in it. The Northeast is also in it. And for folks in the Mid-Atlantic, you will be in it soon enough. Now, before you run outside to look at your eclipse that's happening right now, we want to show you a short video about how to observe this eclipse safely.
Perfectly, so that we're able to have that eclipse, and that's when we have that eclipse. So that 5 degrees off ends up not
time since 1999.
Yeah.
Can you tell me, why does that region not experience eclipses as often, and what is it that makes this eclipse unique?
Right, so this eclipse is unique because of the fact that it's near sunset. It's also the fact that Europe doesn't get as many, just simply as to the location, and any place on Earth, really, it's about 300 to 400 years between the time you get eclipses. So there's a lot of ocean on the Earth that we just don't, it just doesn't go over land. Plus with the angle, it tends to move very quickly and pass in and out, so they don't get a lot of eclipses. And again, it's super special being near sunset, so being able to see a sun setting, being eclipsed, it's going to be really awesome photos.
Okay. And I've also heard of eclipse seasons. Can you talk a bit about that?
Yeah, so an eclipse season, when an eclipse happens like this, that lineup means that you're going to see the solar eclipse, so either a partial, annular, or total, and then you're going to see a lunar eclipse about 2 weeks later. So in about 2 weeks, we'll be able to enjoy the orientation where the Earth is actually casting the shadow on on the moon and having a lunar eclipse. So that's the eclipse season.
Oh, fantastic. And I know Europe is going to have another eclipse happening in 2027, which seems to be a lucky few years for that region.
Yeah, definitely lucky. And it's going to be a wonderful eclipse, and actually the longest eclipse of the century. So it's going to be 6 minutes and 28 seconds. So that's a very long one. Great for scientific investigation.
Wow. And so eclipses can occur somewhere on Earth roughly every 18 months or so.
Yes.
So why is it that NASA continues to study solar eclipses?
Because every eclipse is a little bit different. The sun changes as it rotates or changes its 11-year cycle. The Earth and the area of the Earth that it covers is different. So we make sure that we study it each time.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Kelly.
Thank you, Jill.
So throughout today's coverage, we'll be joined by other NASA experts like Dr. Kelly Corrick, who can answer any of your questions that you have about solar eclipses, the science we're doing, and all the other activities you're hearing about today. You can ask your questions in the chat on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Instagram, or tag @NASA wherever you're watching. We also have questions we want to ask you today. So if you want to head over to NASA's Twitch or Instagram stories and take a look at the poll we've got for you, you can participate and answer those questions. And so before we go on, I just want to point out that you may have noticed a clock counting down in the upper left corner of today's show. We'll have 2 different countdown clocks displayed over the course of the next hour that will let you know how close we are to the first instances of totality in the telescope views we have in Iceland and Spain, respectively. Those are the 2 locations where we hope our telescope partners will be able to capture the best views of the sun being totally eclipsed by the moon. We're tracking totality in Reykjavik, Iceland at 1:48 p.m. Eastern Time, or 5:48 p.m. local time, and that will last about a minute or so. And then we're going to set our sights to Leon, Spain, for totality there at 2:28 p.m. Eastern Time, or 8:28 p.m. local time. And the eclipse there will be about 2 minutes long. So there's a lot of science taking place during those